In this lesson on the quadratic formula, we're going to focus on the second objective. I have the quadratic formula memorized, and I'm able to use it to find solutions. The form of the quadratic formula that I'll be using throughout all these problems is negative b over 2a plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And what we're going to do is we're going to figure out this part, we're going to figure out this part, and then we're going to add and subtract them for our final answer. So here we go. In our first one, we'll first figure out negative b over 2a. We plug in the 4, negative 4 over 2 times 1, and we get negative 2. We should be able to do all of this without a calculator because that's how it'll be tested at the end of this unit. Square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. In this one, I take my b, 4 squared is 16, minus 4 times 1 times 2, all over 2 times 1. Remembering that, of course, a is our number right here, b is right here, and c is right there. When we do this, 16 minus 8, square root of 8 over 2. Let's see, 8 is 4 times 2. So I can, by the way, I cannot cancel these 2's here because this 2 is in the square root and this one is outside. But after I simplify this 2 root 2 over 2, we see that I have 2's both outside, and so there we go. That simplifies to root 2. And now my final answer is that x equals negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 2. The negative 2 came from right here, and the root 2 came from here. So negative 2 plus or minus root 2. All right, let's try another one. In this one, before we can use the quadratic formula, we first need to get everything on one side. So 3x squared minus 5x minus 1 equals 0. First we do negative b over 2a. So a negative 5 over 2 times 3 gives us 5 over 6. When we do the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, I go up here. When I square negative 5, I get positive 25 minus 4 times 3 times negative 1 all over 2 times 3. Here I need to be really careful with the signs. Notice I have a negative times a negative. So that's going to be the square root of 25 plus 12 all over 6. And that's going to give us square root of 37 over 6. And there are no perfect squares that go into 37. In fact, 37 is prime. So our final answer is that x equals 5 over 6 plus or minus the square root of 37 over 6. And we're done. Let's do one last one. Notice the 6x, when we bring it over, ends up in the middle. So 2x squared minus 6x plus 5 equals 0. So when we do negative b over 2a, we have negative 6 over 2 times 2. That's 6 over 4, which of course reduces to 3 over 2. When we do the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, we get the square root of, we square 6, 36. We're actually squaring negative 6, but still 36, minus 4 times 2 times 5, all over 2 times 2. So let's see. We get the square root of 36. 4 times 2 is 8, times 5 is 40. So we have minus 40 all over 4. That gives me the square root of negative 4 over 4. Square root of negative 4 we learned was 2i, and that can reduce to I over 2. And so our final answer is that x equals 3 over 2, our first part, plus or minus I over 2. And there we go.